Holistic Meditation, aka Freedom Renegades, are two brothers taking the hip-hop world by storm. They are masters of their craft and motherfunkin' lyrical Jedis. Tune in as they talk with ThomasBerrymanTV about their music, life, and their rise in the music scene.
Holistic Meditation, aka Freedom Renegades. Man, I'm excited. Can't believe he's on here now.
Man, I can't believe you asked us to be here. It started from just so small and blew up so fast. You know, it's nice to just start having people ask us to come on the show. So thanks, man.
No worries, man. It's awesome seeing you. I see you just pop up everywhere now. Every time I go on the internet,
good.
So
good.
cool. Where are you guys from?
So we're in a small town in the States. The state is called Idaho, but we're from a small town of about 10,000 people named Jerome. And then we moved to Boise to go to college in 2007. And we've been in Boise, Idaho for 15 years now, just making music for probably the last 14.
I'd say 12.
Wow.
12? No, I started rapping with the moment I moved into that house.
I'm going off different timelines.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Man, that's pretty cool, man. And you both start around the same time, or are you saying you're first?
Yeah. We both kind of did start around the same time. I had started writing raps when I was in 7th grade and stuff like that, doing little battles in school. But then when we moved up here, we kind of both made the decision to start doing it. So it just kind of took off from there. Go ahead.
They definitely were different timelines though, because when I didn't start writing till we're 18 months apart, and I'm younger than him by a year and a half, in school, in American school. So I didn't start writing until I was a senior in high school, and I didn't write until he showed me a CD the previous year, my junior year. He showed me some shit. Can I cuss on this show?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But yeah, he showed me some shit that he did. He did some mixtape shit to some popular beats from 2007 time, or 2008 or so. And I remember he showed them to me in the truck, and we were driving down the road, and I kind of was tearing up. I was like, it touched me, because they're at the time even I was like, damn, that's fucking good.
Yeah.
And so after that, I started writing, but he started writing way before me, like he said, in 7th grade. But definitely, I started a little bit later than he did.
Wow, that's awesome. He's got such a good vibe as brothers too. That's so cool. You can do that, working together.
It's kind of interesting too how it happened, because I was I was always writing, but I was always scared to get on stage. So when I was younger, so I never thought I was going to end up rapping. But then as I got older and I kind of got tired of school and I had been doing some writing, when we were younger, you have to be 21 to drink here. I'm not sure how old it is there, but we were sneaking into this bar when I was 19 and he was 18, and they were doing karaoke. And so one day, next thing I know, my brothers just had put in for karaoke. He gets on stage and puts on an Eminem beat, and he's freestyling and rapping to this, and got a bunch of chicks down front. And he's only just an 18-year-old kid up there, just rocking this little bar. And after I saw him do that, I'm like, man, if he could fucking do it, so can I. So we, from there, I'm like, let's do it. So we just kind of started. We went and found some shows and made up some lies, told people we'd actually rap before they'd let us get in there. And it was kind of history from there. We kind of been crushing it ever since.
Man, that's awesome. What was the first song that you guys wrote together?
What was the first song we wrote together?
I don't know.
Oh, I think it was maybe Hope of Hip Hop.
No, you might be right.
Yeah.
I honestly couldn't tell you. That was I honestly couldn't tell you what the first song we wrote was. But
I know what it was. It was the one on the computer. It was
the Cook is Flow, bro. Yeah. Is that still on YouTube?
It's still on YouTube.
Oh my God. I think the
very first song on YouTube.
Oh my God. Yeah. Can you hear that? It's our first track on YouTube. If you go to our YouTube channel, it's the very first one at the very bottom. Don't go to it.
Okay. I'm definitely going to check it out.
He did well. He did well on that track. Reflecting on it, he did a good job. I had a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? You were farther along too in your journey of writing too. Yeah. I was just, like I said, was just starting. That was the first time I had ever done anything like that. So yeah, that's cool. But the first video we did, we actually shot it ourselves. So you can see all the fucking all the shots on this little camera and shit we did all around the city. We got some
on YouTube too.
Yeah, it's got some creative
Hip
shot.
Hop, that's what that was called.
Yeah, it's called the Hope of Hip Hop. We like
It was so infantile though. We were just getting started.
Yeah, but it was fun. We put so much work in. I remember the first scene I took, like I was in college and I went down, I got in my garage and I was into graffiti at the time, just like writing a good amount of graffiti. I was never any any good, but I was practicing. I could have been good if I stayed at it, but I didn't stay at it. But on the garage floor, I did this like chalk graffiti of our names because my name's actually Emcee Monkey D, and he is Holistic Meditation, and we go by the Freedom Renegades. But the way that it happened on our, just as a side note, the way it happened with our TikTok is he started the TikTok channel of Holistic Meditation, and then we started doing it together on there a little bit because he started getting some attention, and then we just were like, fuck it, we're holistic meditation. Yeah, we're not holistic meditation, but we're not gonna change. Like, we're not gonna try to fucking adjust it for people and confuse them. Like, we'll just let them think it's holistic meditation and then figure it out later. But yeah,
sure. Yeah.
So I wrote both of our names on the garage floor in chalk and was just real detailed about the video, and we put a lot of energy and love into it. So it was pretty cool.
That's
We shot it
awesome.
on this little cheap ass camera too that you had to have lost. I did. Fuck you. Dude, that interview you did with Mo Preem, that was good, man. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was cool. I love talking to him, man. It was pretty surreal.
That's epic, man. Tupac's brother, dude. That's wild, man. That's cool that you got that interview.
Man, that's how I feel about this one. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Thank you. I was so stoked to be here. Can you hear us okay on this microphone?
Yeah. Yep.
Good.
Please don't flatter me, man. Honestly, that's really cool. I thought when Nate was telling me that you were excited to interview us, it's like, no shit, huh? That's fucking badass.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah.
I was listening. You still got 3 albums out on iTunes, is that right?
So actually, yeah, I do have 3 albums out. I try not to tell people about the first. I actually have 4 albums out, but
Okay.
my first 2, it was like right in the beginning. So I kind of try to keep those hidden. Like the Inner City Shaman, I try not to even share with people because it was my very first album. My second one, nobody even knows about. That's called Self Mastery, and it's only on one spot in Bandcamp. But my other 2, The Art of Freedom and The Rebel, are like my favorite work. Especially The Rebel, I'm really proud of both of those. But I try to keep the other ones hidden, but they won't stay hidden for very long, I'm sure.
No, definitely. I've been listening. I've got The Rebel and The Art of Freedom so far off iTunes, man, and they're awesome. Like, normally you listen to an album. Like, I listen to an album, sometimes there'll be a song I go, I'm skipping past this. The album, I can listen to every song constantly.
Dude, when I made The Art of Freedom, I literally told everybody, I'm like, I made an album that there's 20 songs and you won't skip a song. And I tried to do the same thing on The Rebel, and I really felt that way. So it's like, I love to hear that because I literally was just harping this. I'm like, I swear to God, every song is good on this album.
Yeah, that's what I was like. There's like no songs that are just there to fill space. Every song is awesome.
Exactly, dude. That makes my day. I love to hear that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, we have that conversation, especially when he was making that album. We had that conversation a lot about people that will make albums, short albums, and also ones that just have like
people make 5 songs.
They don't give a fuck. It's almost like they try to make a couple good songs and they don't care about the rest of what they're putting on their own materials. And we're very intent about being happy with everything he's putting on those specifically. Both of us are the same way that way.
And it kind of seems like things are changing to where people are focusing a lot on singles and not so much on an album. Like 20 songs on it. One of the radio hosts here, when I went and did his show here in Boise, he was like, you need to cut this into a double album or something because 20 songs is way too many. I'm like, no, I want you to pay $10 and get 20 songs and be stoked about it. Like it used to be nice when I was a kid to get an album full of so many songs and get to go through every one of them. Like, I liked that feeling. So I wanted to do that on The Art of Freedom too. Yeah,
definitely. It's great value, man. It's like, I couldn't believe it. How just every song you just nailed it.
Oh, thank you.
What was your favorite one to record? Like, do you have a favorite yourselves?
Out of the albums or songs?
Out of the albums.
Oh, You know, the Art of Freedom was so raw. Like I was still learning a lot. And so and the beats I got on the Art of Freedom are like 90% local. So everybody was from Boise, Idaho. I didn't even know you could get beats, like professional beats online. And so there's like a rawness, like something like, I don't know. It was just me learning. So that feeling on the Art of Freedom was pretty awesome. But as far as like, I kind of look at it as the difference between like the Black Album and like Reasonable Doubt for Jay-Z. Like Reasonable Doubt was so raw, and when he was like in the streets and had this like powerful feeling. But to me, the Black Album so much better. The production is better, but he's doing it for a different reason. I feel the same way. Like I like the Rebel a little bit better, but it's more professional sounding. But the Art of Freedom just has like a special place in my heart. So I don't know. Do you have a favorite one? I'd say the Rebel probably for me.
If I was gonna pick one right now, I'd pick probably the Rebel, just because I feel like there's a little bit more heartfelt songs on there, deeper, like Pain's deeper in general. One Last Ride I really like. It seems like One Last Ride's like my favorite song, and a lot of other people like Nate saw, like not a lot of people highlight that one in feedback, so I'm like, what the fuck, how these people not like this song?
I felt that way too.
But for me, I would say that out of those two albums for you, that probably the Rebel.
Which one do you like better?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta say, for me, I gotta say the Rebel.
Yeah, good.
I'm sorry.
Why? How come?
Yeah, what's the reason?
I don't know. It's just, it's tough. I think because that was honestly the first one I bought off you guys.
Yeah.
So that was the first one I got off iTunes, and I've just had it on repeat. And I've got the Art of Freedom as well, but I don't know. I think just because the first one I got was the Rebel, maybe.
That's how it always is, man. That first album, you're just like, you
Yeah.
get locked into it, and everything after that never compares.
What's your favorite song off that you made on the album?
Man, what's your favorite? Do you have a favorite song on there? You think it's
My two favorite are probably the Get Down and One Last Ride. Pain's deep, and like, Pain's got parts of me in it too, so it's like closer to me, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like what some of the content he was writing about was had to do with me, so I guess it was close to my heart, and also what's happening in my life right now. So that one's close, but I would say those first two songs.
Well, I gotta say the Get Down for me. That was awesome.
It's a fun song, right? And that
Yeah.
our friend Aaron did a really good job on the chorus, I felt like.
Yeah,
Good
definitely.
mix. When you listen to that hip hop shit, you want to, like, a big part of hip hop is mixing that, just getting a chorus, a good singer on a chorus with some of those dope lyrics on the side. For me, when I would go back and listen to it, it's just like, I don't know, it's one of those things that's like iconic, and that song did that, especially with that beginning take that he put in there with Snoop and shit. I was like, oh, that's pretty crafty, dude.
Yeah, I think Bish is probably my favorite song on there, number 2. It's I really like that song a lot. That beat is just like hits me right in the right spot. But let's see what else is on. There's another song on there called Better Than You that it's like I don't know, this song, this whole album, I have like a really eclectic selection of beats. Like there's country, there's rap, there's rock, there's EDM, there's like goofy beats. Like I tried to kind of bring as many different styles as I could together, but that song Better Than You kind of gets, to me, it gets slept on a little bit because it's an EDM and it doesn't hit hip hop listeners in the same way. But I really like the message in that song a lot too. So I would say Bish, and then probably Better Than You.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I love Bish too. Yeah, definitely the Get Down has got to be.
Yeah,
me,
that's
anyway.
such a good song, man. I wrote the hook on that. I actually wrote the first and some of the third verse too. I wrote like 80% of that song except his part.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any songs that you've written that is like, oh damn, we should have gone and done this, or is it everything that you just do now, like you've got no regrets with whatever?
No, I don't. Since we have the studio to ourselves, I'll fix anything. I don't put anything half-assed out. So if I'm like, oh man, by the time it comes out, I'm 100% happy with it at that point. I'm pretty meticulous about my editing and mixing.
Yeah, it takes us fucking quite a while. We don't just throw songs together, and we're also make the adjustments necessary that we
Yep.
see. You know, whatever's happening in the song, we'll bounce it off each other and get the other one's viewpoint on it, and then also to take that time to really try to reflect on it from an objective viewpoint
Yep.
and make those necessary adjustments.
Yeah, that's cool. Are you gonna have any more music videos coming out soon?
Yeah, I'm sure we will have some music videos coming out soon. We haven't been focusing so much on the music videos. We were trying to get albums done.
Yep.
And we actually have another album coming out, a group album together. What?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah,
I'll say it.
okay, yeah, we got a group album coming out that's it's called Hidden Treasure. It's fully done. And I'm sure we'll
Wow.
shoot a bunch of music videos to that once it's ready to go. But right now, we don't have anything, no music videos like fully done right now, but it'll only take about a week once we get going on it. But you want to say something?
Yeah,
Cool.
we have that album coming out, and I right now it's like I'm putting out a mixtape like week by week, but here
Yeah.
recently I had 52 tracks of it, and I put out like I don't know,
Wow.
like 36 of them or so. I was doing it week by week, and I kind of hit the brakes on it because it wasn't working out the way I want. So I have like 13 more of them, and one of those tracks I might put together like a self-made music video because I'll do it. I'll do them when I do them for mine. I'll do them a little like do them myself, and when we do them for him, we'll get them professionally shot.
And there is, have you, I don't know if you follow us on YouTube, but there's a video that he off his mixtape called MCs on there, and it's way deep down there. I think it's probably like 20 most recents down, but he shot, edited, recorded, mixed, mastered the entire thing. And even the editing on the video is all him, and it's actually a really, really good song off his solo album. So if people are listening, you might want to go to our YouTube, Freedom Renegades, and go find MCs on there. It's so good. Like I was like, made me tear up when I saw it. It was so good. So yeah, it's worth checking out.
I like doing those videos like that because I don't know, it just allows me, I have control of fucking everything. It gives me respect for people that are doing that process, people that shoot videos and shit.
Yeah.
But
It's such a pain in the ass.
oh dude, it takes so long all day. It took me literally from like 7 o'clock in the morning to like 9 o'clock at night for like 2 weeks straight. And I was just sitting in the studio fucking editing this bitch down. But again, I really like having that hands-on approach and letting myself come shine through in terms of like the funness and the playfulness that I like to have on my art. You know what I'm saying? So you'll see a steep contrast between those other videos and those ones. You can tell the difference, but they're fun and I like them. I'm getting better at them the more I do them too. So, but they're few and far in between, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you teach yourself everything, or did you go to like school for that?
Shit, no, dude, this guy, he's so self-taught. Everything we do is basically Nate. Fucking, he figures out fucking everything, and then I'll sit there and I'll bug him, and be like, "Hey man, help me." I never learned. I'm totally honest. I basically don't learn it. He helps me figure it out, and he'll teach me, and I'll figure. If I don't do it, I'll forget it down the road. But no, he figures out everything, dude. Like all that editing software, he taught me how to do it. All the like all of our CDs, he learned how to fucking run the programs and run all the tools and do all the fucking mixing and mastering. And then he taught me how to do it. And now I can do it on a lighter level, but it's everything we do in our studio and pretty much within our music when it comes to the technical shit, he figures out. And he's been like that his whole fucking life. I don't know how he fucking did it. Because our mom wouldn't let us have internet when we were kids. She didn't want us looking at fucking porn and shit. So I don't know how he got this technological bone, dude, but he fucking just has this thing where he's just like this wizard. And he'll like research shit. He knows everything about it. I'm like, how do you fucking figure this out, bro?
This genius.
No, seriously.
Who do you guys look up to? Like I'd say your top 3 people each, like top 3 rappers or any musician. It doesn't have to be a rapper.
I like rappers personally. My favorite, the reason that I found like a good foundation in I was already gonna do hip hop, but when I ran into KRS-One and I heard him teach, like, yeah, he's dude. He's by far my favorite. The contribution he made to hip hop by teaching hip hop, aside from his music, I absolutely love his music, but him teaching, breaking down. I bought the Gospel of Hip Hop and read that, and like the way that it just changed my life to feel like belonging to something, and for him to put a structure to it to explain what it is, even on a deeper level than just music, from the primal level of just like movement and dance and talking. It's like KRS-One contributed more to hip hop than maybe anybody else, in my opinion. As far as rap below that, I would say Rakim's just like just doesn't get any better than Rakim. I mean, and one of the things I feel like people really look at his first albums because he changed a lot with Follow the Leader and Eric B for President and all this kind of stuff. But the best albums that everybody sleeps on is the 18th Letter and the Master. They came out in like 1999. Nobody talks about them. What I think it was 98, 99, but it doesn't matter what year. They just got completely slept on. Nobody talks about them, and every song from start to finish is flawless. Like, I've never heard an album this good in my entire life. If you haven't heard them, you got to go get those albums. They're like, a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And then I would say the Flowbots right below that. As far as like best albums, I think the Flowbots Fight with Tools is one of the best albums that's ever came out. But that's my top 3 right there.
Yeah.
Fuck. I would say what he said about KRS-One, it was pretty equivalent with my life too. It was, it pretty much let me in the door in terms of myself, it let myself in the door to be like, oh, I can do this too. I can be part of this culture and make this music and step into this world, because coming from where we're from, it's just a different lifestyle, so I don't know, KRS-One really, really just shed light on so many things, and I don't know, he illuminated a lot, so I'm thankful for KRS-One. But and I love his music too. I know the depth of his catalog is insane. How much music he can put out.
He got like 35 albums.
I don't even know, dude. He puts out so much fucking music, dude.
Yeah.
But then for me, I would say after that, Pac was a giant influence on my life.
Which is why it's crazy he interviewed his brother, dude.
Oh yeah, I know, right? When he told me that, I was like, yeah, I'm a huge Tupac fan. Like, I fucking love Tupac, and that when he told me that, I was like, oh no shit, that's fucking dope. Damn, dude, so you were excited to interview us. I was excited to get interviewed by you.
Wow.
So kudos.
Thanks.
But, yeah, dude, of course. But then also, I don't know, it's a split. The third one, I would be a split probably between like Rakim also, and then Outkast is a really big influence for
Lupe's
me.
Up there.
Yeah, if not Lupe, not as much for me, and that like probably a split between Outkast, Rakim, and Ti for me. I listened to a lot of Ti in my later high school year, actually pretty much all through high school, and then later after that, but he was a big influence, and Outkast came a little later, but they were a giant influence on me too. And honestly, I saw Outkast at the Gorge one year, and they were the best performance I've ever fucking seen live. And I take a lot off my live performance, actually, just from seeing that one performance that one time. I take a lot off my own live performance and the way I'll stretch words a little bit from actually how what I saw Andre doing that night. And it was really impactful on me. So
I'm curious. What about yours? I want to hear your top 3.
My top 3. Oh man, I definitely, I'd have to say Rakim.
Okay, I like that.
Just because he is one of the first that sort of got me interested in hip hop.
Yeah.
And I gotta say Tupac as well.
my man.
Yeah, he was amazing. Just the amount of work he put in before he passed away as well. Like, that's insane.
It's true.
And third, I don't know. I'm gonna have to say at the moment, you guys, because I've just been listening to you constantly.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yep. That makes me so happy.
I'm just happy we're doing our fucking job. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Thank you.
No problem. Glad I found yous. I found yous on TikTok, and sometimes like just the first thing that comes up, if I accidentally go past it, I don't find it again. I'm just so glad I found you at the right time, and I was straight away. I was just like, yeah, these guys
it's
have
cool.
got it.
It's so hard to get people to transition from the app of TikTok into our music, but
Yeah,
it's been moving really well with as far as getting people to come to Spotify and YouTube and
yeah,
find or iTunes and buy it. It's been picking up pretty good. So thank you for moving from the app into the places where you can listen to our music and buying it. You said you bought it on iTunes, so thank you.
yeah. I always try and buy everything on iTunes. Is that the preferred way for you guys to release your music, or what do you use?
Whenever I release it, because I go through a distribution company, they release it everywhere. So wherever's easiest for the listener.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always nice when people buy it because you don't get paid that much for streams, but I
yeah.
honestly don't care. I mean, I pirated music my whole life. So if you can find a way to pirate music, go get it. I don't care if you steal it, whatever, just play it.
Right. And it's kind of part of the hustle too. Like the world we live in, man, you fucking, as an artist, your shit's going to get fucking ripped. Just like he just said, like he ripped it. You think everyone else is going to fucking rip it? Like, yeah, they are, dude. But you also have to get them involved with you, like by doing things like this podcast with you. You have to you want to get the listener familiar with you as part of the type, essentially as part of the branding of it, but also too, like, if you're fucking badass, then people will, reside with that, and they'll buy your merch, they'll fucking buy your CD, they'll support you, they'll come to your shows, they'll be a part of your entire movement, essentially.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. The nice part is, even if they want to pirate it or get it for free, as long as when I come to your city, you come to the show, that's where we'll make the money from it. So as long as you come to the show, that's all that matters.
Yeah. Hopefully, he's coming here soon.
Oh man, I would love to. Where are you at in Australia?
Me, I'm at in Western Australia, so like a small sort of town, Port Hedland.
Okay.
But yeah, usually
Man.
everything's in Perth, like the city.
What's the population of your town? About,
I think it's about 16,000.
Okay, yeah, that's about
the same size as our hometown where we grew up.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see the Redneck Ghetto music video on YouTube by chance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
How does that make you feel? Like, seeing because I'm curious about this, because I only have had interaction with people who are closer to us. So what does that make you feel like as a listener, not knowing us and then just receiving our music and seeing that as like a reflection of our upbringing and our, you know what I'm saying, our lifestyle growing up?
Man, I loved it. Like, it reminded me of this place here where I am now, this town, and it was just so cool, and it was something different. I didn't expect that from you guys. Like I thought, yeah, it's awesome. I reckon it's probably up there in my top 5 songs of you guys. But it definitely reminded me of this place.
Okay, that's cool.
So I guess that's why I connected with it, just because, yeah, is like here.
That's kind of what I wanted to go for too. And that song was like, man, we grew, we didn't grow up in like a giant city. We grew up in this small town that's a bunch of rednecks that like the whole feel is like we literally grew up on a farm, moving hand lines and feeding chickens and, cows and a whole area. So I wanted to bring that feeling of like, hey, because the rest there's people in big cities, but there's a lot more people in small little towns. I'm like,
yeah,
it was just an interesting feel I wanted to bring of like what home feels like to me.
Yeah, and I think it's cool too, because relating it back to what I said earlier of what how KRS-One made it let me feel like I could be part of this culture, of hip hop, you know what I mean? Because we came from that shit, and in our whole lives we loved hip hop. We were always into it. We were breakdancing on the wrestling mats and shit, and like fucking as like 8-year-old fucking kids, like we just always fucking loved hip hop in so many ways, and we we're always outcasts. And I remember walking through the halls with my senior year, because like I said, I started writing my senior year. I remember a fucking kid, I'll never forget it. Later he told me he liked it, liked our music, but I'll never forget it, because I used to carry around a little pad and pen, because I wrote all day, every day. And fucking this kid was like, he's like, Chris, you think you fucking rap? Like, he was making fun of me. And it was just impactful, so those things were just it's cool to hear your perspective on the situation and to see it now, and you know what I mean.
I like that.
Definitely. No, I think you guys are super cool. That's like,
thank you, man.
that's
I'm lucky. I'm lucky because I get to do it with my brother, and so it's like the
Yeah,
chemistry's there. It's so much, like every day I get to hang out with him, so it's like it's perfect. I love it.
that's awesome. Like I couldn't think of anything better than just hanging out with your brother and working with your brother.
Yeah,
Like,
and we get along pretty good. We fight a lot, but we get along really well, so
yeah.
it works out.
What's the process for writing a song? Do you usually both work on it at the same time, or one of you is like, can you tell me what your process is? Both
Yeah,
of you?
so let me see if I can show you this on this. We because let's see. There's like a curtain that we had to put up here
Yeah.
because I can't write while I'm sitting next to somebody. I have to have like a full open space where I can just like let loose, be loud, and not be thinking about somebody watching me. I have to be like totally free. And so like usually what I'll do is like once I find the beat, I'll sit with the beat for like 30 minutes and just kind of feel like beats have like a kind of a color, like a hue to me. And so when I get time to just kind of sit through it, I could find the color. And once I find the color, I can kind of paint the picture into that. Like, I don't want to say frequency, but the color has a mood and I want to paint something that fits that mood. And so even if I take like, I have so many notes in my phone of song ideas and things I want to do, but I never use them. Cause once I get to the song, I write what the song is asking for. To me, what the mood is, I just start writing into that. And so my process, once I get the beat, is just try to match what it's saying and try and make the song complete. And I feel like that's something that hip hop misses a lot, is these fantastic beats with no lyrics that match the feeling of it. And I think that's why on both those albums that each song is good, because I feel like everything goes together well. But to answer your question, for me, I have to be totally alone to write. And my brother's like, dude, come on, we can write together. We could be in the same room. And I'm like, we're going to put up a damn curtain then. I'm going to hide over here on this side.
Yeah, we both need headphones though. No matter what, you gotta have this fucking. Yeah, definitely. It worked out well the way when we did that together. It worked out good, especially for that time frame when we first got the studio. That's what we did. We hung this fucking curtain up, and we were just in here all the fucking time.
What's your writing process like?
Man, essentially I'll just find beats. I'll comb through fucking beats and find until something just rings, until I see something, I feel something, and then I'll go from there, and I write way more janky than he does. Like he's way more phonetic. I'll do things I'll do songs like on that mixtape I mentioned. It's called Onion Cake, and I titled it Onion Cake because it's got 53 different tracks, or 52 different tracks on it, and some of them are full songs and some of them are partial songs. Some of them are only like one verse and some of them are entire 3 verses with a hook. So then I've done in the past, like on that here in the recent time frames, that's pretty much what my writing process has been. Just I'll write whatever the fuck I felt like writing, and if I didn't feel like writing a hook, I wouldn't write a hook, and if I liked it, I'd put it out, so it was just all over the place. It was free. It was totally free. I loved it.
Yeah,
I really did. But in the future, but I use it as a tool for growth, so that I can hone the totality of the craft later. So down the road, and my next basically not project, but like my next focus in growing my writing is hooks, and only focusing on hooks. Not to say I won't do verses ever at all, because that's always part of it, but I'm focusing more on hooks in the future rather than just being like totally free with it like that. Because of my last album, like I said, it's called Onion Cake because that's a play on Shrek, that it's got layers to it.
I was thinking of wow. When you said it, I was thinking about Shrek. I was like, that's
where it comes from, because he was fucking, when I was writing it, I was like, man, I got all these songs I want to put out. I might as well just put them out. Who gives a fuck, right? Like all we can do, and at the time I was like, well, the sky's the limit. All we can do is go up. So who gives a shit, right? And so I started putting it out, and he's like, call them half song heaters. And I'm like, fuck you, dude, like making fun of my shit. And I was like, I'm gonna call it, and I came up with that. I'm like, Onion Cake. It's a crafty little playful name. Like, I like that.
Yeah, but I'm also always pressuring him, because when we write songs, I always write the hooks, and I'm actually the hooks. I don't know, hooks just come to me really naturally. I'm really good at it, but it's funny. because this guy, I'm like, dude, write some damn hooks. It's the most important part of any song. You want people to repeat something in the chorus, but he just like writes sporadically. So we're a little bit different like that.
Man, that's awesome though. Like you still both got your own like unique style, but you just work very well together.
Yeah, we some people think we sound similar and some people think we sound nothing alike. It's kind of weird, but yeah, we got a good little mesh going on.
Yeah, for sure. And like say you're in the studio, do you always have the beat first? Like you're saying, you listen to the beat then write?
Only one time did I bring lyrics into a beat and put them in there, and that's the song's called I Am. It's like number 3 or maybe I think it's like number 3 or 4 on the Art of Freedom. And you can kind of tell I forced a hook into it. Honestly, you could tell I like it, but it's the only time I just brought lyrics from outside in. And that's the reason to me, at least for my, like the sensitivity towards music, I can tell that the hook was slightly forced in there rather than like came from the feeling of the beat. And it still turned out really good. I love the song, but I try never to bring in outside material into something new. I try to come up with something fresh every single time. I don't know if do you ever do that? Do you ever bring writing in on the outside?
Usually I just find the beat. Usually I find that beat, like I said a minute ago, I'll find the beat and find the feeling, comb through beats, and then go from there. Let it carry me, and then do whatever the fuck I want to it.
Man, that's cool. And do you guys make your own beats or?
I have made beats. I don't prefer to. It's just not something that interests me that much. Maybe if I had more knowledge on it, but at this point, my favorite part is just like painting the picture more than like making the beat. And it's so, I don't know. I love the process of finding a new beat that I didn't make that instantly inspires me as soon as I find it. Because a lot of people, they'll stack up a bunch of beats they like. For me, as soon as I find one, I can't, until I'm done writing that song, I'm not finding another one. I'm going to knock out this beat and use that fresh feeling and then start on a new one. I don't want to hear the beat a bunch of times and then come back to it. So I like that process a little better.
Yeah, I fucking am. I have no interest in making beats, and I kind of like the idea. I don't have time for it too. Like if I think about the consumption of time that it truly takes to do already what the shit that we're already doing, my whole fucking day is so full. I couldn't even imagine trying to put a beat together. But I also like the outsourcing of it too, like being like, yo, I'll have someone else that makes that I'd have my thing be like rapping, and and I'm the best I can be at that, and then I'll have someone that's the best they can be at beat making do that, and like outsource all of it. I kind of like that idea in business life type shit, but I also am on the art side, imagination wise, I like hearing different shit. It like brings its own world to me,
so everything's got its place.
Yeah, that is very intriguing to me, just in general, when I'm combing through beats and seeing almost different worlds,
Yeah.
It'd be funny on this interview if you put a little box in the corner and it's a fuck counter every time he says fuck. Ding, 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 ding. I bet you said 100 fucks today. I don't care. You can say as many fucks as you want. I think it's absolutely hilarious. It would just be funny to watch it count up. Ding, 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 ding. How many have you got? I gotta have like 5 probably. 3 of them just happened.
Yeah, right. I'll put 2 different counters on there. It's also he's just real cool, normal like dudes doing cool shit. Like
yeah, exactly, dude. It's funny when you ask us because that's to me, I'm just me. So it's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, we'll come on the show and you're excited. I'm like, fuck, it's just me.
We're just cool people. We just do our best to be the good people in general. You know what I mean? We're just human beings. But to me, it's cool to do this interview with you because you have going into this whole music thing for me. My personal thing is like uplifting people, spreading a positive impact in the world around me, easing the suffering of the world around me, and it's just cool to be able to reach people in that way, you know what I mean? And also to be able to just relate and talk and just show ourselves and be just be ourselves and have a good time with it, but also to get that message across, and my hope is that it gets across to people.
Yeah, definitely. What's like what inspires you guys outside of music? Something that really gets you.
You'd be. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
This is a fucking really odd answer, but like I said, my MC name is MC Monkey D, and I've always been into cartoons my whole fucking life.
That's fucking
And
cool.
like anime and shit. So like, well, right now,
deep.
I love it, baby. I'm not into a whole bunch of them, but like one of them, my favorite one is One Piece right now. And
Monkey D.
you watch
Luffy.
One Piece?
Yeah.
But yeah, right. Okay. So you know where you have an idea where MC Monkey D comes from, and you understand the character. So
Yep.
I'll just give you a briefness on it. But like, so MC Monkey D to me isn't like, oh, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. It's like, you know, you get the Monkey D family. So I would say, you know, it's the Monkey D bloodline type shit, not bloodline, but like, you know, I'm bringing that into real life, and I'm taking those characteristics of admirable person and being that, you know what I'm saying? So like literally my hat is my promise to myself, and I have my own affirmations towards that and everything, you know. But my inspiration deeply is of just the way that they teach not camaraderie, but like a deeper sense of living your life and your path and finding your way, and just so many things of like integrity that you get from that I have gotten in my life from just a fucking cartoon is insane. And being, and like I said, being admirable and honorable is just so important to me. And having good bonds and good love and just uplifting altogether in every single facet of life, you know, and being true to myself and what I see in my heart, and going after my dreams and my what you know makes the world beautiful to me. So and that like things like that cartoon, that one cartoon, and then other ones too, have really given me that, you know, when I see the characters like Goku and Luffy, or like Yusuke Urameshi, or like Naruto, things like that are just so like were impactful my whole fucking life. And it's kind of like, I know other people have been on that same route in their own way, like that fighter, what's his name, the UFC Adesanya, he likes Naruto a lot. So there's other people have had similar impacts, and it's like not super uncommon nowadays, but you know, for like, you know, it's not a common thing. So that was a big inspiration for me.
That's awesome.
That was a good answer.
Who's your favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Fucking Goku, baby. Come on now. Come on now.
Sun Wukong.
I love that. Do you know that about Luffy? Like, so Luffy is based off of Goku, and Luffy's also kind of who is Goku was based off Sun Wukong, and Luffy has stuff based off of Sun Wukong on him too, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So Oda's a motherfucker, dude. I know there's some shit coming with Luffy. Like,
is that the writer, Oda?
Oda, yeah. I love it, dude.
Yeah, for me, I would say actually, who's your favorite character?
And Dragon Ball Z. I think I don't know why, but I've always liked Tien.
Okay, how come?
I don't know. I think just, you remember the Majin Buu saga? Like saga, and he comes in, he held his own. He wasn't a Super Saiyan or anything. He was just like a regular, well, human with the third eye, but he is like he like sort of held his own with those guys who are supernatural, I guess. Or I don't know. I always thought he was cool for that.
Okay, you're related to him a little bit because he is like human.
Yeah.
Like. Okay,
I like that.
Did he train in the hyperbolic time chamber before he went and fought? Did he fight Boo?
Yeah, he fought Boo. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's where I was like, man, this guy is up there.
Did he have to fight? Did he train in the hyperbolic chamber before he went and fought him?
No, I don't think so.
Damn. Okay, cool. I don't remember the fight or what you're referring to, but obviously I know the saga.
Yeah.
Damn, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, it was very brief, like little fight. He wasn't like, just like that's what I thought was cool.
For inspiration for me, I go like I like my whole life I've kind of enjoyed following enlightened masters. And so I spent a lot of time listening to like Oshos and Matthew Kahns and Mujis and Adyashanti. I've gone to a bunch of like talks from these people and spent some time with some of them, and that's kind of what inspires me a little bit. Hip hop and like a deep quality of union or religiousness have always like pulled me in that direction, but not like traditional religion. I definitely, none of that inspires me at all. But for me, I have like a weirdly different approach to like creativity and inspiration. For me, I think most people that think they're creative, they're just regurgitating things they've seen from the past and making things up. And I think creativity means to almost be in a state where you go into the beyond, into the unknown, and you pull something that hasn't been done out and bring it into now. And like, so the process of creativity to me is being able to be open enough to like almost let something in that hasn't been done yet. And so that's why I think music is getting old to most people, is just because these people we're calling them creative, but they're really not doing anything but like using the same formulas, regurgitating things. And sometimes it's even therapy for them, but therapy is not creativity. It's like, to me. And so I'm constantly in a process of trying to get out of my own way when I'm creating and bring this inspiration in from God. I don't even know. I could say God knows what, but I didn't even know what the source is. Like bringing the source through my energy and then bringing something fresh into it. And like, I can call it my own, but in a way it's not even my own. Cause it's like, sometimes I surprise myself, like where did this idea come from?
Yeah.
But so for me, the inspiration is like, it's just something natural in the source of life, and trying to just not put my own ego and my own ideas, forcing things in and letting it flow through, and coming up with projects that way. So inspiration for me is just this natural process that I try to work on a lot. And even in that book that you had read, there's like a one page I read that was it's the art of war, no, the war of art. Yeah, there's like a part in there that talks about how creativity works, and this guy's like, oh, he's charming the muse, but he's like, they asked him, how do you get creative? And he's like, well, when I show up every single day at 9:00, it just happens. He's basically like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to invite it in, and it naturally comes, because no matter what, I'm going to show up at 9 a.m. every single morning. And that's how I kind of like to do it too. It's just like, keep practicing, opening up this doorway of whatever you want to call the source, life, God, nothingness, consciousness, spirituality, whatever, Gamma. Yeah. Delta.
Gamma brain waves.
Yeah.
Call what you want. That's
Flow state.
That's what I get out of it. Like, you show up at 9:00 every fucking day, eventually you're going to sink into it. You're going to sink into a flow. You're going to get into the fucking mood. You're going to get into the groove, and you're going to something's going to come out of you. Something's going to come out of right here, dude. You know what I'm saying? You're going to fucking feel it, and eventually it's going to come out. So what's in you?
Yeah. And the truly creative people, they're so unappreciated in their time most of the time. It's like, that's hundreds of years later, or, whatever, 20, 30 years later, when they're dead and they're like, oh my God, this was amazing. It's because they're bringing something in from a time that doesn't exist now. It's going to be hard to appreciate something truly creative in this moment, because it has nothing to do with the time. They brought it from a whole different, not even a different time, but like, quantum. Yeah, it's a whole quantum idea. So to me, it's, creativity's rare. True creativity's rarely appreciated in its time. There's exceptions, but that's my opinion.
Sorry, Tesla.
Yeah, Tesla's what a good example, though. This Croatian scientist that completely, like, nobody appreciated, died loving pigeons and being this weirdo to everybody, but invented everything.
Sorry, Kanye. I'm just playing, dude. I'm just playing.
Who's your favorite Jedi?
Yeah, man. I like Yoda.
That's a good one.
Fucking spinny bastard, dude. That son of a bitch jumping around like a fucking jackrabbit all over the place, spinning that fucking sword like a wheel.
The new one that I think it's in the Mandalorian, where the girl with the orange two like head thing, she has like the two things coming off the back of her head. I cannot remember her name to save my life. But I'm starting to get into it. Like, have you seen the new Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Like, you're a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. That, like, Dragon Ball Z and One Piece. I love all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess I'm a Skywalker fan at heart, really. But that new chick with the orange head that came in the Mandalorian, I can't wait to see her story. She was really interesting to me. I don't know if you happen to know her name.
Ahsoka.
Okay.
I think that's it. Ahsoka.
I think you're right. Yeah, they're making a whole series about her, apparently. But
really?
Yeah, there's gonna be a whole series.
A lot of spin-offs on that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm not super into. I've never been super into Star Wars or the lore. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've only seen like the movies and stuff. But I had a friend that when I was growing up, he was in my reading class, and like in school we had to take like one hour was like a reading hour, and this
Yeah.
fucking kid would only read the Star Wars books, dude, and he knew fucking he like I didn't realize it, but until then, but there's like a whole fucking like
Saga.
no, not like there's like books, dude. Like, if you know about all these books, like there's like
Nah, not so
there's
much.
like I don't know what the series is called or anything, but there was like fucking I want to
Yeah.
say like hundreds of them, dude. And
Wow.
there was just like a lot to the story of Star Wars and all the different Sith lords and shit. I was actually kind of like impressed about it. I've looked at it briefly on YouTube, and you know,
Yeah.
there's apparently eons worth of fucking masters and shit, and they all.
Who's his favorite? I'm curious. Who's his favorite?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Yeah.
no, you're good.
Who's yours?
Ah, um, I'd probably say Yoda as well.
That's a good one, dude. Yoda's the best in that show.
Badass.
He is.
Yeah.
He just exemplifies the things that you love about like One Piece, like that high quality character, full integrity,
Yeah.
good, even a good master and teacher. You know, there's so much good
Yeah.
shit you can pull out of it. I kind of learned that from you of just like interesting TV, like interesting animes that the character is something you can actually look up to. It's beyond human in a way of like transforming possibilities within yourself and carrying yourself in a higher way, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and that's you already know, but with myself, that's why I brought that.
That's your conviction in that way.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I will be this in
Yeah.
my life. You know, I can't. Who says a person can't walk a path of like truth, whatever
Yeah.
that is to them? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. As what's top 3 movies each?
Movies?
Yeah, movies.
Fuck. Oh man, I don't really have like a
White
top.
men can't jump.
That's what I was
gotta
gonna
be
say.
up
The first Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
From the 90s. The white men can't jump.
there.
And
Dumb and Dumber is up there for me
Me
too. I love
too.
funny stuff. Like
Ah, yeah.
Ace Ventura,
Sandlot.
Dumb and Dumber.
Sandlot's
Sandlot's not
close
up there
for me.
me.
Sandlot's close for me too.
All the Ace Venturas. Yeah, let's see.
But those what you said too. But his movies are definitely
Dumb
similar
and
to-
Dumber is so good. Man.
That's
Every time I
hilarious.
go back and watch that show, I cannot believe how good that movie is. It's
Yeah.
funny because I've heard people that are like spiritual people make fun of like our time because we have some of the dumbest movies, and I'm like, and they name specifically Dumb and Dumber. I'm like, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's so damn good. They're out of their mind. They're too serious. So,
Yeah.
what else is there? But yeah, white men can't jump.
She said something about me not listening. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yes. That's cool, man.
What about you? What about you? What's your 3 favorites?
If I was choosing a comedy, I'd have to throw Dumb and Dumber in there.
Yeah.
But so for a comedy, and then I love Goodfellas.
I've never seen Goodfellas.
I've only seen it once.
It is I just like I don't know. I somehow really like older movies as well. Dazed and Confused.
That was a good movie.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah.
really good movie.
I've never seen it.
Oh, really?
No, I've never seen it.
It's pretty cool. You got to watch it, man.
Yeah, that's the one with Tom or with Johnny Depp, right?
Nah,
Okay, that's
No,
Fear
it's-
and Loathing.
What's that? dude?
actually,
The-
that'd be up there too with my
Oh no shit.
favorites. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what the other one even is then.
if you saw it, you would. It's got like Matthew McConaughey when he was young, right? Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You would, if you saw it, you would know it. Like
Okay.
it's an iconic cult film.
I'm that guy. That's
Yeah.
okay.
I don't watch that. Honestly, I don't watch that many movies. I'm kind of detached from like TV and movies.
Right.
I've kind of been getting more into it lately, though.
I don't. I mean, movies. I just don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time, so I can't really get. I don't mind watching a film if I'm interested in it, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's not a lot that stick out where I'm going to go look it out. And my music taste, I just listen to classical music nowadays.
He is.
Yeah.
Every time I get in his car, he's got classical Beethoven and shit playing.
I'll do that sometimes too.
Dude, it's
It's peaceful.
It's
Yeah.
peaceful, and I don't know. I'm in that place in my life where I'm enjoying that shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep enjoying it. You know,
That's
I feel
cool.
like on a deeper level too. Who knows? Maybe it's just me making shit up in my head, but maybe it's making me make better music or be in touch with my craft in a different from a different angle that is more I don't know, rounded and more beautiful in its own light, you know.
And I think that, dude, you said that something that made me think of this, that really being a good artist comes from people think, oh, they got to be articulate and really well spoken. It's like, it's actually not true. The best artists are the ones that can listen the best. The ability, and that's what it just comes back to what I was talking about earlier, the ability to be able to listen to inspiration and listen to that channeled information. Because, and stuff like listening to symphonies can help heighten that ability to be sensitive to music and the ability to listen. Because talking, again, you're just pointing out your perspective rather than bringing something bringing something new in. It's so good. The best artists are the best listeners, in my opinion.
Yes.
I have a theory that because I've never really liked fucking EDM music, dude. It's never been like something that just vibe to. I don't mind it. I don't hate it, but I don't hate anything, but at the fucking same time, it's not my thing. But
Yeah.
I listen to classical or anything along those lines, or like soothing meditation music type shit. And I'm like, this is the EDM. This is fucking, you know what I'm saying? Because I've had that argument with some close friends of mine who are really into it, and they're like, oh, it's telling me a story. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But then when I listen to that classical shit, I'm like, I get what they're talking about. I'm like, this is the real beauty of like a contract. If I was going to compare the two, I'm like, this is what they should be listening to, because it's fucking really telling a story. You know what I mean? It's taking you on a ride, man. I love it. I fucking love it.
Man, that's cool.
It makes you curious how Beethoven, with being tone deaf, could ever write such amazing stuff.
I heard that he went deaf. Just the other day, I was listening when I was on the radio, because I listen to the local radio station, and it's got that music on it, and it's like classical and shit. One of the things they mentioned the other day was he went deaf. So maybe, I don't know what the history is of it, but I think he might have had his hearing at one point.
Yeah, still, regardless though, at the point he was making the music, he was still tone deaf. Like, even if you've heard sounds, you still can't hear what you're making. There's
the vibrations, I think.
Still vibrations.
I think he did like shit like this. I'm serious.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did.
Vibration somehow. Don't quote me.
Definitely don't quote him.
Quoting you. That's cool, man. I didn't even know that. He was deaf. That just blew me away.
Yeah, dude, it's tone deaf and made the most amazing symphonies in the world. That, to me, it just says he was listening to something deeper. Like, I don't even know. I would love to feel like a day in his life making a symphony where he can't hear.
Dude, I bet his in-laws, but I bet his like everyone close to him was like, fuck this guy. And they're like, dude, this guy you think he makes good music, but in his life, man, he doesn't clean, he doesn't do anything. I'm fucking sick of him. I have to take care of him all day because he can't fucking hear.
Yes. Who does your artwork for your stuff?
So the first one, we had a local tattoo artist do the artwork. I came to him with this idea that I'd had. If you look at he did this too.
Wow.
Yeah, I came to him with this idea that I needed done, and I couldn't get done anywhere else. I had somebody else try it, and they fucked it up. And I had this idea of this representation of enlightened masters mixed with hip hop. And so on the top of the Art of Freedom, there's like Krishna, who's DJing. And then there on the bottom is Buddha breakdancing. And these are all blasphemous things in a way too. Like, Buddha was never a dancer, and so, but having him breakdance, I loved this idea. And then Jesus is tagging, blasphemous as fuck. And then you got Martin Luther King beatboxing, which maybe you could see that a little more. Krishna, you could also see maybe doing some DJing. But then in the middle is me. So I got the 5 elements of hip hop, the 5 main ones: breaking, MCing, graffiti, DJing, and MCing. And the middle is me emceeing. So the vortex comes into me, which when you actually open the vortex or open the CD, is a picture of me on the front of the cover. And so I just wanted to get all 5 elements mixed with enlightened masters. And I just couldn't get anybody to get it done right. And this guy, he nailed it. I mean, a tattoo artist was obviously one of the best people you can have do it. But yeah, it turned out fantastic. What, you want to say something?
Oh no, never mind. I got the original artwork framed.
Oh yeah, you do. He's got it up here on the wall.
No, that's not the original though.
Oh, that's not the original. But then on this album right here, the Rebel.
Wow.